Can you reinvent the time? Probably not. But you can display it in a different way. The Defakto Kinetik is such a way. Hello and welcome to Watch Max's Watch Videos. My name is Axel and I'm glad to have you on the show. Defakto is a watch brand belonging to the Igloo Group under the eye icon at the top left corner, top right corner, and at the end of the video I'll show you some links about videos I did about the Igloo Group. And Defakto belongs to the Igloo Group, known as a specialist in watchmaking, case making, and Defakto in particular is a brand which is in the tradition of the Bauhaus style watches, but transforming the 100-year-old Bauhaus style into a modern interpretation, which is just what the Bauhaus stated 100 years ago, to create design according to the current time and not freeze an old design and reproduce it over time. And that's exactly what Defakto does. They present very stylish watches, and the Kinetik you can see here is a watch which is created to present the time in a slightly different way. You may have spotted the two scales on the face of the dial and the special form of the hands. I'll come to that later in the video and show you how exactly all this works together and creates a new and innovative way to display the time on a wristwatch dial. The watch comes at a price tag of €865 and a water resistance of 100 meter, a diameter of 39 millimeter, AR coated sapphire crystal, a lug width of 20 millimeter, non-tapered leather strap. Lug to lug we have 45 millimeter and a weight without the strap of 59 grams. The watch has a total thickness of 9.8 millimeter and the movement is the ETA 2824-2. As you can see, we have a look-through case back and we have a quick change system for the straps, which makes it really easy to remove the straps and replace it with others, play around with colors, material, and with a water resistance of 100 meter. You may even want to use a rubber or caoutchouc strap. So let's see how it sits on my 17 centimeter or 6 3/4 of an inch wrist. On the left hand side we have a 39 millimeter Steinhardt watch, and you can see how different the watches look, just caused by the outer turning bezel of the Steinhardt. I feel pretty comfortable with the 39 millimeter watch, and it's a size which I prefer for watches which don't have a turning bezel, like some Flieger, like divers or other watches. The Kinetik is a watch which, according to my perception, stands out a bit out of the portfolio of Defakto, since the display of time is very special. The hands are very special. These are skeleton hands which perfectly harmonize with the two scales of the minutes and hours. Later in the video I'll show you precisely what I mean. The crown is pretty big and very handy, easy to grip, and the whole watch is manufactured in a very clean and precise way, as you can expect from a case making specialist like Igloo is. And since Defakto belongs to the Igloo Group, you have the full right to expect the same very high case quality like you see here. The whole watch is, I think, about a year or two old. Is an award-winning watch. It's a Red Dot Award-winning watch. Previously, it was delivered with just 5 bar water resistance, and recently it has been upgraded to 100 meter water resistance, which makes it, for my personal life, much more versatile and much more EDC compatible, since I personally don't like to take off my watch when I take a shower or go swimming. As you can see here, the outer scale has 60-minute markers without a special 5-minute or full hour index marker. These markers are on the inner ring, so they are separated from the scale of the minutes, which makes it at a first glance different to read. Some may say a bit more complicated to read. However, I'll show you in a couple of minutes how it works, since the skeleton hands move over the index markers, so you can see the index markers just in between the hands, and that creates a new and very interesting look of the time, and that's quite stylish, I have to admit. The hands are covered with luminescent color BGW9, and the second hand with red lume. Unfortunately, the minute indexes, both the 5 and single minute indexes, are not at all covered, so that's unfortunately quite difficult to read, but it creates a very nice and stylish night shot view. I'll come to that later in the video. So here you can see the skeleton hands. If they cross each other, you see the hour hand under the minute hand. You see the inner and outer scale. And when I start turning the hands, you can see how the index markers appear and disappear just within the hands. The single minute hands appear within the minute hand, and you can see the 5-minute index is also visible in the minute hand, while the hour marker is at the tip of the hour hand. So it's absolutely easy to read precisely the time just by monitoring the indices. What's the plural of index in English? I don't know. When it's visible within the skeleton hands. So let's see how the hands are set and how you can read a minute precise time by just turning the watch slightly from minute to minute and see how precise the watch can be read. So first let's turn the watch to the 12 o'clock position. Some of you wanted to see how the hands are set, and here the setting of the hands is absolutely perfect. As you can see, the second hand is in the middle of the minute hand is in the middle of the hour hand, and all covers exactly and precisely at the 12 o'clock position. When the minute hand starts turning again, you see the single minute and the 5-minute index just within the hour and minute hand, and turning it forward you have 5 past 12 with 2 indices within the minute hand. Turning it forward for a single minute, we're at 6 past 12, 7 past 12. So it really works nice, but it works in a really different way compared to the display where you have longer 5-minute indices at the minute scale. It is different, but I think you can quite easily get used to it. And if you look for a stylish watch which is different and draws attention to your wrist, I think this is a really interesting watch. Of course, it's not a watch for everyone, but it's a watch for everyone who wants to be decently different to other watches. I talked about the night shot already, and as you can see here, the skeleton hands are covered with lume as well as the red second hand. Unfortunately, there is no other marker on the dial, so turning the hands creates a nice night view. But when I try to set the hands to exactly 12 o'clock, as you can see here, I have to play around a bit, since in the pitch dark I wasn't able to directly figure out where the 12 o'clock position is. So this may cause some challenges during the night, but at least when you come from the brighter outside to a darker inside, the hands are covered with lume and supports an immediate reading of the time, maybe not overnight, but in certain circumstances and certain conditions, it surely will help. I would be totally curious to read your thoughts, what you think about the watch, if you like it, if you don't like it, if you prefer the classic way to display the time, or if you like the different way with the hands and the scales. Just drop your notes. Look forward to my next video. Stay safe and enjoy your collection. Till then, cheers, Axel.